Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
What is up, everyone? How we doing tonight? We
Hey, people.
we
Hey
got
everybody.
I'm Brad Mabry. We got Mike Pierce and Jordan Pierce spelled differently on the line. They're about to drop some bombs tonight. I'm really excited. Surprised they're showing what they're showing, but it's all good. So we've got a ton of people piling in, so we're gonna kick things off in a few minutes. So ranking without links. Yeah, you can do it with some of the stuff that Jordan and Mike are going to show you tonight. So it's pretty badass. I mean, if you're doing pharma, you're probably going to still need some links. But so again, crap ton of people piling in here. It's gone up by like 20 since I first started talking. So we're going to give it a few minutes. I'm Brad, Jordan, Mike on tonight, and we're going to blow it out of the park. Who's excited to be in here? I see it. I already see a yippee.
Clint makes me feel bad about myself constantly.
Yeah.
I sit here and cry in the corner.
He did post about us today, so
I know, and he's
We're
just
not even
harassing me in the freaking comments, and I'm going to go cry.
That's Clint.
Unfortunately, Steven had some stuff he had to do. It's family first always, so that's inexcusable. And Dory had some stuff come up that
Yeah, Dory
she
had a medical thing come up, so she unfortunately can't be here tonight. But
she is okay though,
yeah,
so
yeah, she is.
she's not. It's not a emergency type thing, so
Yeah.
she's doing fine. So
Yeah. So, but you got the three of us jokers. So who's excited about that?
nobody.
No, yeah, I think people are falling off now. People are leaving.
Yeah,
There they
that's
go.
going down. Yeah, everyone's gone, dude.
Meh. Thanks, Kendrick.
Corey.
So again, like I said, we've got a bunch of people still piling in. We're going to kick things off in a few minutes. You got Mike, Brad, and Jordan here. Brad speaking. I know
Hey, Holly.
everyone. Yeah. We got people skipping sleep. We're going to get to it in a minute. Like I said, we don't want to stop the flow once we get started, and people coming in and saying, repeat that. So
Holly broke my head the other day. I was reading a post and I thought she was having like relationship problems, and then I started reading about you, like freaking candy.
Hoes and Twinkies.
what up, Terry? Shout out from Greensboro. I'm in Summerfield, so very, very close.
Proximity.
Yep, that's one of my favorite hotels.
It's an SEO hotel.
It is now.
They
Yeah,
named it.
they know me
They
when they
named it
go in there now.
Proximity.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yep. So what time we got? We'll give it one more minute. Yeah, people
more
are still coming in. Yeah, like we've had like 10 people in the last minute hop on. Don't want to leave anyone behind because, as you know, once Jordan gets rolling, it's hard to keep up. So yeah, I know, right? Slackers. Yeah. You always have those on a webinar though, so it's all good. I'd rather be late than not here at all. Thanks, Clint. All right, let's go ahead and get started if everyone wants to, or you want me to say the same thing over and over again, Clint. All right.
Yeah, the screen's not shared yet. Yeah.
Am I not
thank you for
sharing?
that.
Oh, crap.
No.
Here we go. I've had this last screen up, this very nice screen that I put up. So tonight we're going to cover advanced keyword theming and some badass stuff here. I use it since Jordan and Mike showed it to me, and it makes it a lot easier to run the campaigns because you only have to do stuff once and you don't have to do continuous stuff unless you're just providing stuff for deliverables for clients. But we'll get into that too. So tonight we're going to show you how to drastically increase your bottom line by reducing the amount of time and money you put into your SEO campaigns by right around 77% each month through advanced keyword theming and on-page tactics that will make Rankbrain love you. Ever since Rankbrain came out, I know Mike has been very excited about it because it's like tricking a 3-year-old.
We want you to say that 10 times fast, Brad.
Yeah, exactly. I can say it 10 times fast, but Clint will get mad. So, note this will not cost you any extra money to implement and can be used virtually in any online biz model. We're in a number of biz models, PPL, agency, some affiliate, but I really am liking PPL and agency recently. But it works across the board because ranking is ranking. Just a few small nuances between local and national. So our goal, as I said, is to save you a ton of money and time with your SEO campaigns each and every month. Hopefully you guys get that out of this. We think you will. And if you stay until the end, we've got our top niche checklist for anyone that wants it. But you guys stay till the end to get that. So what makes us different? Mike, there's a lot different about you, right?
Yeah, that's the short bus.
Yeah, he's about 10 foot tall and I ride the short bus. So, but what really makes us different, in my opinion, is we actually do this shit. We don't just sit around and draw linking diagrams every day, which is fine if you want to do that, if you like to do that. But I'd rather get in there, build an agency, build PPL properties.
I need to buy turkey and pay my mortgage stuff. So
yeah, just drawing on the whiteboard sometimes doesn't do that, does it, Mike? Some people
sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So, we actually do this shit day in and day out. We've got brick and mortars. We've got real businesses that we run as well. And we drive that 100% essentially through SEO. It's funny in the industries that Mike and I are in, especially, people don't get leads. And when we start a company, we're like, here, take all these leads and use them. They're like, holy shit. So that it really sets us apart because we know what's working now and we know what's working in our campaign. So then we can relay that on stuff like this. So the NFG crew, there's a group picture of us all. You got Mike, Holden, Jordan, all that good stuff.
It's when I first met Jordan.
Yeah, he was a lot smaller than I told you. Mike's about 10 feet tall, but I've been in it since I think 2008. So 11 years now. Started on eBay, moved to websites, needed to market those websites. So I started digging into this SEO thing, did the local agency, did national, did e-commerce SEO, shit like that. Mike and Jordan, do you want to give a quick background? And Jordan, please tell them that you were banned by Google or whatever with the locksmith.
Yeah, so I started back around the end of 2007. I started with Google Maps primarily. It was still pretty new. Google was buying a lot of information from the phone companies that had really no dashboard. So they're buying a ton of information from companies like Info USA, Axiom to really fulfill their Google Maps database. So that's kind of how I started in my SEO career, and then I started to learn HTML code, and then me and another partner, we ended up building about 6,000 Google Map listings and 6,000 sites in locksmith and autoglass. Have built a couple of brick and mortar businesses in the locksmith industry, and then just kind of got into more client work, consulting. Started a GMB course in April of last year. Have spoken at several events throughout the year, last year, and then kind of here we are. So
Jordan neglected to say that Google decided to shut down our brick and mortar locksmith.
Yeah, our locksmith shop.
Because they decided to pass a memo around with his name on it. So that kind of killed that. But I've been doing this since 2018 2018, 18 years. I've been doing this since 2001. Yeah, exactly. I've been doing this since 2001. It basically started affiliate and moved into agency stuff and PPL and all that fun stuff, even though I consider affiliate PPL is the same thing, except with PPL, you just have a lot more control and less scrub and shitty affiliate man. But so yeah, met Jordan, I'd say 10 years ago now. Met Brad probably 5 years. Damn, dude.
Somewhere in there, 3, 4, 5.
Somewhere in there, 5 something, 4 years ago. And just doing this SEO and affiliate whatever thing online for the last couple decades, basically.
Awesome. So, in our careers, we've done a lot of things right. We've built up agencies. We've done all this stuff, but we've also done a lot of things wrong. and we want you to avoid those mistakes. What we're getting at with this presentation tonight is you want to compact everything. You don't want to overthink stuff. That's the biggest mistake I see in SEO, especially people just getting started. They stress out about like the smallest of details. Don't do that. You've got to move fast. You've got to delegate. I'm personally responsible for that. I'm horrible at delegating. Who in here is horrible at delegating? They just want to do everything themselves because they think they could do it best. Is that anyone in here?
Hard to, I would say it's probably most people in here. It's hard to have someone else do it when you want it done exactly the way you want it done.
Yeah. And then I always have tried to surround myself with the best. Sometimes people that you think are the best might not be the best, but you just got to learn how to pick that out and, drop them sooner rather than later. And then the biggest thing, and it's funny, I see it like people talk about wealth building and all this crap in other industries, but really you do have to set up multiple revenue streams, in my opinion. Like I said, we've done a little bit of everything, and I'm not telling everyone to get too fractured, but you need to have stuff in place in case one node goes down. Does that sound like is everyone trying to set up multiple revenue streams in here, or is that the goal for everyone?
Who's shooting for multiple? Yeah, we got a no.
We got one no and a bunch of yeses.
And a bunch of yeses.
Local. Yeah. And I know
I know that no means yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd like to set up one. Yeah. You set up one, and once you get something down, then repeat it as much as possible. I feel like that's another issue that I've had and that everyone in the industry has, is they'll get really good at something. We're like, okay, I know how to do that. I don't want to do this crap anymore. And then they'll go on and learn the next new shiny object. Does that sound like anyone in here? Yay, nay?
But there's a comment, it's the goal, but I'm guilty of wanting to do everything, so I never get there quite myself, which, that's a shiny object thing.
It's hard to delegate sometimes. You get stuck in a rut sometimes.
It is.
Trying to find VAs or employees or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
And that is why we can't have jobs. Exactly.
Yep. All right, so we've been through everything. We've discovered it the hard way. I know some of you guys in here probably have, but tonight we want to make it a little bit easier on you with what we're going to show. Everything that Jordan shows is simple, bare bones, no fluff type stuff, and that's why I love his courses, his everything. It's because I can sit through and me, Caveman Brad, can go through it step by step and figure it out, just because I just do what Jordan does.
There's a good comment in there. I feel like as soon as I get it and I do it well, it must mean that it's over and done with. And that's the problem with focusing on I'm a ninja, right? So I just got to say, focus on what's simple and makes the most return for yourself. If you're doing client work, for your clients as well. So
yeah, we've even had clients in the past, Mike, that they want to do the ninja stuff. I'm like, no, this is what's going to help. This is what's going to provide the best ROI. We're going to take something from spot 10 to spot 2 or spot 1 or spot 3. Well, we're going to take it above the fold. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I'm like, dude, you're making my eyes cross,
Exactly.
So you got to keep it simple and move forward. And, a lot of people in the industry don't want to, and I used to not. So luckily I've learned the error in my ways. Somewhat. I still like to make it complicated sometimes, but we all do. So the hard way is doing everything yourself, working way harder than you have to. I know Mike worries about that. He works way harder than he has to. I try and tell him to take it easy sometimes, and spending too much time and money chasing crap that absolutely does not work, right? How many people in here have spent money on crap that just didn't work or sounded cool? You're like, yeah, this is it. And then you're like, I bought another turd. Yep, exactly. Me too. Yeah, guilty as charged here too. So, is everyone in here ready to know how to use advanced keyword theming to drastically reduce the amount of time and money we spend on each campaign? Yes, no. If no, then we can just talk about what's on TV and stuff. Kenny says, wait. How long do you want me to wait? All right, awesome,
Brad.
awesome.
Brad.
So in the past 2 years, we've been able to build, like I said, multiple revenue streams, agency, PPL, affiliate, in a number of different niches, and all that with minimum staffing and very little money invested. And that's because, and I hate staffing people. That, like, when I had a day job, I had to run a little bit of everything. HR was my least favorite thing to do, because you hire people and they never turn out to be who you hired from the interview. Maybe I'm just a horrible judge of character, who knows? But so I try and do it with as little staff as possible. So that means refining my processes and listening to people like Jordan tonight. So just a little disclaimer, results are not typical. Jordan's a badass. I'm just a caveman that follows what he does. We're pretty efficient, though, when we get to working. So what I can say, though, is if you take this, apply it exactly as Jordan shows you tonight, then the slightest improvement in what you're doing is going to save you a ton of time and money. That's all I can say. So the 3 secrets that we're going to cover tonight: how to precisely pick the perfect set of sub niches in any category, properly organizing your exhaustive list of LSI keywords to maximize the amount of keywords that you rank for, how to properly snipe geolocations if you're doing local in order to take over entire service areas. Huge for if you're doing PPL or you have client works. So without further ado, here we go.
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me, there's a couple of tools that I love using. One of them, I know there's one there's called Sitebulb. I don't know if anyone's ever used that.
Yes.
But I use something called Screaming Frog. I'm a big visual learner, so I like what Screaming Frog has to offer. They offer you a big visual graph that you can really see the organization of your site. If you want to, actually, I'll go ahead and send the presentation over to me, Brad. I'll share a couple things.
Oh, you want me to throw you the screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got it.
You sending it?
Yeah. Who's a visual learner in here while I was getting started? Because I know I am.
Can everyone see my screen? Can you guys see the graph? Or this little tree graph? Okay. So for me, I love, like I said, I love using Screaming Frog. They do have a free version, and then I think depending on how many pages you have to crawl, I think if it's over like 400 or 500, you have to pay a certain monthly fee. But I just have the free version because I don't really crawl that many pages. But it's pretty simple to use. You can just type in the domain that you're going to be looking up, and then you can check on visualizations. And then I look at directory tree graph. And then it pulls up this visual. So this is how I organize all of my pages. I do mostly local. So the most important thing is when we're looking at a site, I just picked the random one here, guardianhome.com. They offer roofing and pest control services. So anytime that I'm organizing my site, what I'm looking at, I'll use tools like Page Optimizer. I'll use stuff like Cora to really be able to see some of the additional LSI terms. I think Page Optimizer, Kai Roof did a great job. He just integrated a API to look at some of the LSIs, and there's another thing that he just integrated in there as well within the last couple weeks. Google
NLP stuff, yeah.
So it really allows you to see some of the kind of the sub niches or some of the sub terms within your main niche. So, for example, if we look at roofing, roofing has several different types of services. So it'll be things like repair, replacement. It'll be things like any type of commercial, residential. So the good thing about doing this is that we're able to really organize our entire niche and then be able to really target some of these sub terms. So when I go back into when I'm building out my pages, I'll first just create like maybe a list of some of these sub services, create the pages out, and then I'll run it through Screaming Frog so that I can see the visual aid. So if we look at roofing, we can see that if we go into roofing, we're going to see commercial roofing, roof replacement is a page, roof repair has its own page, and all the other different types of services. Same thing with pest control. So if we look at pest control here, we can see some of these sub pages. We have bed bugs, termites, wasps, fleas, so everything that they offer within that pest control service. So that's the biggest thing, is that when you're organizing your sites, I see this is probably one of the biggest problems that I see if I look at any site, is like obviously you're not going to want to have bed bugs tied into roofing. So Google, they look at the entire entity, which their entity could be like a person, it could be an item, it could be a place. So what they're looking at is what some of these sub-terms, how they're tied into the entire entity of pest control, and how pest control is tied into the entity of Guardian Home. So don't just go out and create pages without having any type of theming or organization. That's really what Google is looking at. So you want to make sure that every single page is tied into a page above it. So like, like bed bugs into pest control into the main company, main domain. Same thing with roofing. How you interlink these and go into each additional page, you can do it a couple of ways. There's one way that's called a physical, you might have heard physical silo or virtual silo. What that means is what the URL actually looks like. So if you go, so this would be Guardian Home Roofing. If I click on repair, it actually brought me to a completely separate page. So this would be what's called a virtual URL structure or virtual silo, okay? If it was a physical URL or physical silo, this would be roofing / roof repair, for example. And it should bring, it's not even gonna bring us to a page. So there's not really me personally, I like using everything closest to the root. So I want to make sure that my pages, my sub pages are closest to the actual domain. That's how I personally do it.
What is another reason why it would be more important? It might be more important to use a virtual silo rather than a physical silo. I'll see if people are thinking tonight. Yes, exactly, Micah. You've got the keyword entity itself and the URL. It's also it's higher in the directory structure. There's multiple things, but yeah, you're spitting out good answers in there. So you're thinking it's good.
So not only that, since I do a lot of local, I also want to subcategorize my location pages. So not only am I having a separate kind of hub page for all the services, so I might click, if I click on Seattle Roofing, I may still have a list of all the services that are within Seattle. So meaning, but if you look at the URL structure, it's still closest to the root. So even if you're targeting location pages,
hey Jordan, can you
yeah, there's some questions.
Retell everyone what closest to the root means. Like, I think.
Yeah. So when I say root, it means to the domains. I know it's kind of. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. That's not going to zoom in there.
Well, what he means is instead of domain.com /Greensboro /pest-control, what we would use instead of that is domain.com /Greensboro -pest-control, because then you're getting everything in the exact order that you want. You're getting closer to the root because you have fewer subdirectories as well.
So for example, like if I click on just roofing, it's going to bring me to / roofing after the domain. If I click on repair, it's not going to say roof / roof repair. It just says roof repair.
Yeah, and you're avoiding over optimization in that instance as well.
Yes, in some cases, and I think Kyle and Clint, they do a lot of like single variable type of testing. Sometimes a physical structure, you may need it because it just depending on what core or pop is telling you. You may need to have a physical structure, but kind of starting out of the gate, me personally, when I build out new sites, this is how I structure.
I always build them, with it a flat silo.
And you will inherit clients that large e-commerce clients where you really are not going to want to go through and rewrite freaking 500,000 URLs.
Right. So I mean, and that's a big cleanup too. And I mean, you may have problems with any type of keyword cannibalization because you have, if it's like roof repair, roof replacement, and it's all in the same string, technically you could be over optimizing.
When would you need a
Um,
physical structure without knowing any better mind is virtual?
so there's different ways you could do. So I'll get into how you could use a physical structure here in just a second. So this is for services. Since I do a lot of local, I also target cities.
Yeah,
So in this case,
who in here is targeting using a site to target multiple cities with the same like roofing or HVAC, whatever. Whether it's client, whether it's PPL. It's just curious who's doing client, PPL, or both.
Smush.
Yeah,
Smush it.
Smush does everything.
so an example of how you would have a geo or a city, kind of like what I call would be a hub page, would be an example of, like if we look at this plumbing site, the domain is just Dallas, Texas, but Dallas, Texas has a list of all the services. So it could be
Real
plumbing,
quick, I'm going to pause
HVAC.
you. I'm sorry. Someone needs some help. They're saying their boss won't let them rewrite the URLs because Google knows about them and crawled them. When you change URLs, there can be some serious dip. But if you do it correctly, you will recover quickly. It's a little bit more of a technical question than what we're talking about right now, but
Yep.
you can successfully do. I've done it with sites that have million-plus pages. So
You would have to.
Yeah, you can. You just want to be careful that you're not using both. I mean, you can, but you just have to be careful on how you structure it.
You want to redirect the old to the new when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about one-to-one redirection.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're looking at geo, this is another way that you could do it. So if we go back to the Guardian site and we click on Tacoma, so now it's Tacoma roofing. But since roofing was one of our types of services, or maybe this said, let's say it said roof replacement in Tacoma. So if we look at, let me go back to the roof replacement. So we may want, so this is one way to help you interlink into those other cities. So let's say if we go to roof replacement, one way to help you best optimize for roof replacement Tacoma is to link out to that page. So this could be roof replacement, and then you may have a list of all the cities that covers Tacoma roof replacement, Seattle roof replacement, Auburn roof replacement. Okay, so each type of service also has a list of all the cities for that type of service. Does everyone follow?
Question so far on this? We have a lot of different skill levels in here, so
Yeah.
I won't call out any names. If you have a question, it's your chance to learn. So please shoot those questions out because we're here to help.
Okay.
Jason, just go away.
So you can either structure this by the type of service, so that example like roof replacement, or you can even structure it by city. In this case, Berkey's actually created this by the geo. So the Dallas page would have a list of all the types of services that they offer. So this could be, HVAC. But I'm going to go back to roofing just since we're talking about that. Let's say this was Dallas roofing. So you may have a list of Dallas roof replacement, Dallas brand new roof installation, Dallas roof repair. So you'd have a list of all those services underneath that Dallas page. In a case where you could have a physical structure would be in the case where it would say Dallas, Texas / roof replacement. So that's one way that you could structure that. Okay. I know that was one of the questions. What would be a way that you could use a physical structure? That this is one of those examples. But it's super, super important. The reason why I love going back to, Screaming Frog is because it's really allowing me to group and really organize my site. WordPress is super user-friendly to use. You can structure it by using physical, or you can structure it by using virtual, but at least Screaming Frog allows me to really see all of the main services and all of the sub-services within that.
So what can you use this to diagnose? Get your thinking cap on. Why is visualization a good thing? Who's had a developer or staff upload something into the wrong location? I know I have.
Like this week, probably.
Yeah, no shit. There's some questions on, there was, let me see if it got answered. There was a question about, can you repeat the city/service structure?
Yeah, so that would be, let me see, I don't know if this one has it. So if we're talking about a virtual structure, which meaning that it's closest to the domain, then this would be an example of that. So this is Tacoma Roofing. Maybe it would be Tacoma Roof Replacement would be one of your pages. Okay. If it was a physical structure, it would be how it is with Berkey's. It's Dallas, Texas, and then it would say /
Roofing.
but since we're talking about roof replacement, it would look like this. So in this case, technically, this wouldn't really be over optimization, and you wouldn't have any of those issues. Just the thing you don't want to have is you don't want this to say like Dallas, Texas, roof. Let's say it's roofing / roof repair, roof replacement. So technically, that could be over optimization.
The next one is, would you have Tacoma Roof Replacement and Tacoma Commercial Roofing pages or not?
So if it's by city, what I would do is I would have a list of, so this is the Dallas page. What I would do is I would have a list of all like roof repair, roof replacement, everything that's in Dallas. And then I would go to, let's say, the next suburb city. I don't know, what's another suburb in Dallas? Plano. So then I would have another Plano page, and it would still list all of the services within Plano. Now, the interlinking is what gets into, which gets a little bit confusing, because what you're going to want to do is technically, this is what I call a hub page. So this is the main city and all the services underneath it. So within this main hub page, I may then link out to, another city at that point, or you could even link out to another Dallas roofing page. I don't know if Guardian has that example. Let me see if they do. So this is Tacoma Roofing. So in this case, let's just say this is roof replacement. So this could link out to Tacoma Roof Repair, Tacoma Roof Replacement, Tacoma Roof Inspections, and so on.
Does that make sense to everyone?
Let's see.
Do you use the same content on each city page, or just change it, or change the geo?
So me personally, I have never seen a duplicate content penalty when you only swap out the geo modifiers. So meaning, if this is Tacoma Roofing, if you could use the same content and then just swap it out to like Seattle Roofing or Auburn Roofing.
And that is how, when we want to save or we're doing more mass type stuff, that's the same kind of thing that we're doing.
Yep.
I have not had issues with it either. If you're building sites for clients, you're building, sites you care about, I'm usually going to do content for those sites anyways. So I'll be doing unique content on my tier 1 sites, my money sites, but typically you can get away with it and be in a safe spot. Internal, that's a different topic, so I won't start that yet. But
do we have any other questions about?
Yeah, let's see. Is it better to use state abbreviation or spell out the state? You were going to want to use both. And you can use those in different optimization points. If you're using, the full state, go ahead, Brad.
I was just going to say exactly what you're going to say. If you use it in the URL, then don't. Then use the opposite in the the H1 or title, vice versa.
Yeah, for me, I have to put my state abbreviation because Vancouver is super jacked up. If I just put Vancouver, Google thinks I want to go to Canada. So I always put the state abbreviation.
That's a good point too, and it's good for all SEOs to keep in mind that, you know, different markets, different SERPs, even in the same market potentially, can have different roles for you to follow. So that's where stuff like POP comes into play, and that's why you won't see our content staff putting content up until, you know, POP has been used, and it's extremely important to pay attention, you know, SERP by SERP. Let's see, should city pages link to each other also?
Yeah, so that's a good question too. So technically, I mean, everything was put on a sidebar. I would not use the sidebar personally. I would put it in the bottom of the body of the content. So instead of having Tacoma Roofing, I would list all these cities and put them on the bottom right here.
Yeah, I'd probably even use,
the bottom of the content.
Yeah, like a table or something.
Yep.
Because then you've got another HTML element on the page.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that was probably going to come up when we talk about some national stuff. But keep in mind that different HTML elements in your page and structured HTML, unstructured data is important too. So having lists, having tables, that type of thing, you're going to want to make sure that you're doing this. Are you saying that all the service pages should have city links and all city pages have service links? Use both these structures or use one structure or the other? You're either going to be physical or virtual.
Yeah, it depends on how you have it set it up. There's not really, me personally, I like to break it down by services, but if you do it by city, in this case, you would have, you know, all your services. So you would have Dallas. So if you do it by city, it would go to Dallas and then service 1, service 2, service 3. If you do it by services, then it would go to city 1, city 2, city 3.
Yeah, and when we do our networks, you know, our geo niche stuff, you know, sites are kind of at the city level and then broken down by the services, like so. Pretty similar to what JP's just talked about. So each service page should list the cities.
Go ahead and read the question too, so people know.
Yeah, I'm looking for one that hasn't been answered already. So Canada, I could do domain. So if I'm in a physical location but ship across Canada, I could do domain name.ca/Canada/outdoor.
Well,
whatever.
if you're in Canada, you shouldn't have to put Canada. I mean, you could if you wanted to, if that's where your traffic's coming from. But if you're saying you're shipping to Calgary, you may want to put Calgary in there if that's bringing in search volume.
You're already declaring yourself as a Canadian site with your TLD right there, and based on
if it's in Search Console.
Exactly, and in GSC. So let's see, if it's a directory site, does a physical silo work better? I am a fan of virtual silos. I like clustering my content, so I'm usually sticking to virtual in most cases when I have the choice. Change the copy. Another question about copy. I think that was answered. Risk tolerance wise, if you're not risk tolerant, then change copy. If you have risk tolerance, I think you're safe not, and just modifying your geo. I've not had issues with it myself. Let's see. Just change the names. Same question. Text be differently pages. Same question.
For your silo pages, would you? Oh, that's answered.
Yeah. Would it be considered the same comment if you have several pages for cities? So there's ways. Let's see. The question is, would it be considered duplicate or thin content if you have several pages for cities i.e. Dallas, Tacoma, Plano, talking about the same service, i.e. roof repair. I have not had issues with it. Jordan, have you seen issues with it at all?
I haven't seen that. Me personally, I just like to group everything in the URL the same. I try to keep everything separate with, matching city plus service.
So mini nets and mass page sites. Mass page sites are your typical spam site, Surfshaker, whatever tool you want to use. You're just going after long tail. Mini net is literally a super focused smaller site. We're usually building in between 60 and 70 pages, focused around a location and different services.
Yeah, like I typically target 1 to 5 services on a mini net, and that's because if I'm doing 5, it's because I really want to bring in the traffic from those extra services. Typically, I just stick with like 1 or 2, but yeah, I keep them smaller, like Mike said.
Let's see. Didn't talk about this straight answer. Thank you for someone was appreciating straight answers. Done PPO in a niche. Can someone gain traction? I have actually been in that market.
Yeah, it's good. I won't say what the niche is, but to answer your question, I've worked in that niche a lot.
Yeah, it's
very good
if you do it
and
correctly.
That type of niche, they need SEO because of most of those types of companies. They're really hurting in the industry because of, you know what, go ahead and send me an email. I don't want to really give away your niche.
I would just Skype somebody that's presenting tonight, and we can have a conversation about that. So I can have the same content on different cities. But you're going to be clear, if you're going to duplicate your content like that, you are going to be going in and changing your geo modifier. Are these actual clients or are they lead gen? So
I answer that.
You got that. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. So are you better add the URL as H1?
Yeah, I answer that. So it just depends. Like if you guys are using services like Page Optimizer or Quora, use their recommendations. If the question was, let's say it's Seattle Roofing, should you put your H1 as Seattle Roofing? If that's what Quora and Pop are telling you, then I go by their recommendation.
I really got to say something about that. We have tools. We're lucky. This isn't 18 years ago. There's people like Kyle that have built tools, people like Ted that have built tools that can help us with certain aspects of our job that really I should become an integral part of the way your process is flowing, because it's so easy to do, it's affordable to do, and it really can expand your ranking set if you're using them properly. And that's why, for our content writers, they're going to be using Cognitive and they're going to be using Pop in every single situation when they're doing articles and posting. Let's see.
Yeah, we actually had to let someone go who forgot to run Pop recently, right, Mike?
Yep. They made problems for us. What are your thoughts on hiding city pages from navigation and having
I'm going to give you guys a little nice little trick how I use Pop. I'm just kind of throwing this out there since we're kind of talking about it. Me personally, knock on wood, I've never had issues with necessarily being over optimized. I mean, you can, but the best way for local for me personally, especially if you're going to be using the same content, how I do it is I go optimize for the biggest city. I'll run Page Optimizer Pro, and I'll just run it one time, use that exact same content and format, and then basically copy paste it into my other city pages and just swap out the city modifiers. So yeah, it's kind of my little gold nugget for you guys tonight.
That's like a huge, that's more than a nugget, but yeah. Did everyone catch that?
I hope they did.
No. Okay, who in here uses Pop, Page Optimizer Pro? Just post yes or no there. Okay, yeah, like most people in here do. It's pageoptimizer.pro. It's a tool that Kyle does. It's a tool that Kyle made. It's an on-page optimization tool. So what Jordan's saying is, say you want to rank for SEO Cincinnati, SEO Indianapolis, and SEO Louisville, right? So you've got these 3 cities, but you don't want to get unique content for each one. You don't want to go through.
But they're all, let's just say all 4 of those are in the same metro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like a tri-state area. So yeah, they're relatively close. So you want to save time and money, right? That's the whole purpose of this webinar, right? So the way you save time and money is you get the linked article that Page Optimizer Pro tells you to, and that analyzes competition, all that stuff. So you get that article. You optimize that article for the largest city. So I think out of those 3, Indianapolis would be the biggest. So you optimize the page, you get the page exactly right for Indianapolis, and then you throw it on your site, you copy that content, you switch out Indianapolis for Louisville, you post the Louisville content on a separate page. You take that article, you switch it out with Cincinnati, and you post that. Now you've got 3 articles for the price of 1, and you only had to go through 1 article in pop, which can take a little bit of time if you want to get it just right. But you only have to do it once for, say, I mean, I've done that for a ton of articles.
It maximizes the hell out of your campaigns and brings down the cost. Another thing that I instruct my writers to do with pop is if there's ever de-optimization suggestions and optimization points, then they should be using terms that they know are entities that are salient to the topic. We use cognitive SEO for them to do that, and they just use the focus words to de-optimize for the main term. So, and that has done very well for us. You know, we've got pages ranking for 800 to 1200 long tail terms by using these tactics. So, like when you have 3 pieces of content that's seeded off of 1 piece of content, and you're pulling in, you know, hundreds of keywords a page, this is how you can really start to maximize your return, really start to maximize how, you know, lower how much you're spending on your SEO.
Yeah,
so it's important.
You're really going to squeeze the most amount of rankings out of each dollar, which is the point in SEO, right? That's why it's so much cheaper than PPC, because you can't really do that.
I'm gonna show you guys an actual example right now. Hopefully no one's in here is gonna ruin my site, but fuck it.
I'm going to ruin the crap out of it.
Well, Clint probably will.
Clint already told me he's coming after you.
Yeah.
I know.
Kyle's coming with him. Kyle's gonna hit you with his sandals.
I haven't checked this page in forever, but here it is. So here I am, ranking page 1 for Salt Lake City SEO.
Yeah, you got your first page ranking finally?
I did. It's my first one.
I ranked for Dog Pooper Scooper Vancouver, so that I was pretty excited about that. I'm on page 2 right now.
Look at that guy.
So this is one of the examples. This is why I had to use Washington or put WA, because Google thinks I'm in Vancouver, BC. But if you look at the content, so if you go to Salt Lake, shut up. There we go. If we look at the content here, search engine, everything is exactly the same. The only thing that I swapped out was the city, and you know,
you even leave the same bolds and everything, right?
What's that?
You even leave the same bold and everything, like just copy and paste the HTML.
I literally just copy and paste.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And just.
Do you know how many times you've switched the entity on this domain, Jordan? Like the theme, like it's funny. That's going to be one of the fun topics that we're going to be getting into later. But yeah, no, this site has been themed many ways over the years.
So please don't negative SEO me, otherwise I'll be super sad. But anyways, that's a live example.
If you negative SEO him, you can't use it in other webinars. So please don't.
Just to show you, I'm ranking page 1 on both of them for those, and I use the exact same content. So I do have another thing I do want to cover. Are there any other questions regarding theming and organizing your site? I mean, this goes very hand in hand for national. It's not just local. Just the only difference is you're not going to be having geos.
Yeah. So, how's everyone liking it so far? Just curious.
Do you have any questions? Amazing, cool, great stuff. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Gordon appreciates it. His head's getting bigger.
Yeah.
He's going to tip over.
The next biggest thing is I want to make sure that we really cover local. How many of you guys do local? And I mean local, you guys rank on maps.
I do.
I do.
Okay.
There's a question that I want, before you jump into that new topic. Kyle mentioned his sandals, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But cognitive SEO, when telling your writers, what I mean by that is we have our writers use the cognitive SEO keyword assistant tool. It analyzes content and it pulls out salient topics as focus keywords. You know, you can go use something like TextRaiser for ideas, but cognitive, I think, does a great job of it. If you do use them, you write them an email, tell them you don't want any of their other tools, you just want to use their keyword assistant. And I've never had an experience where they have not done that for me. So they'll take all the credits and put it all into the single tool and just let me use the actual keyword assistant tool. So that's what that means. It's just a way for them to expand their keyword usage so that we can expand our ranking sets per page, if that makes sense. If not, I'm not going to be able to explain it.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the biggest thing I want to cover tonight as we start getting into, and then Mike's going to go over some stuff too, and we're going to jump in. We still have more material, but there's been a lot of changes with local and maps. So before, Google was like, okay, I need to see what your site says to help you determine some of the things and how that ties into your maps. At one point, the algorithms were completely different. You could rank organically and not rank on maps, and then vice versa sometimes. And then it went back into where if you're ranking high in organic, sometimes you would rank high in maps, just depending on what you did. Now we're getting into another situation. This year alone, Google's had over about 20 different updates in local alone. They've updated Google My Business probably at least 20 to 25 times so far, and we're only halfway through the year. What they're actually doing, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I don't know if I could, I'm gonna try and find an example. If you've ever done a search for, let's say plumber, Seattle, and you may see, and sometimes usually it pulls it up like in a lower term, like an LSI term. So it may be like HVAC Seattle or some like heating repair or something like that. But you'll see that in bold, it'll say the website mentions this. So you may see, and what that's doing is Google is actually looking at your website and actually reading all the content and how that's actually optimizing your map listing. So I've actually kind of gone backwards when I'm ranking maps now. So what I do is I actually create a completely different landing page for my Google My Business listing. I'm no longer using just a single location page. And what I mean by that, I'm no longer just using Dallas, Texas, and only optimizing for Dallas for my map listing. Because what's happening now is that since mobile first came out last year, Google's algorithm for local is really becoming proximity stringent, which means they actually have now developed their own GPS database. So if you've ever looked at,
they're no longer using the Mexican database that they were using.
So if you see here, this little sign here, this is actually called a plus code. What they've actually done, they've actually come up with their own GPS grid for local, meaning that now local results are only showing based upon where the user is actually physically located. There's some different things depending on how they're searching. So like if you just type in plumber and not put in a city term, it's going to find local plumbers within my area, as opposed to I'm looking for a plumber in Portland or Seattle. So Google is really pushing proximity. They really want to show results based upon where users are actually physically located. So that means that your optimization for your Google My Business is going to be, you can kind of do a little bit more, I don't want to say spam, but you can really stuff your pages in your landing page. And this really helps kind of push some of that proximity. It really helps you push for some of your other keyword terms. So let's say if we're looking at plumbing, the way that I create my landing pages now is, honestly, I don't really care what this says. It could be Dallas Plumbing, Roofing in Frisco, Seattle. I don't really care what the URL says. The biggest thing that I want to have is I'm going to stuff this page with as many terms as I can. So this would be, if you're doing plumbing and HVAC, you can list, I think their homepage actually lists quite a bit more. So So you can actually list every single one of your services on that landing page. So you could have plumbing, HVAC, heating repair, every single little thing that you do, and you could stuff these landing pages with as much keywords and content as you want. Not only that, I'm also stuffing as many geo locations as possible. So I'm actually stuffing all the zip codes, every single city. So if you're in Google My Business, you can set a service area. So let's say you service like 10 cities. What I'll do is I'll actually list every single one of those cities on that landing page. So now I'm really pulling in a lot of traffic, a lot of relevance based upon not only just the type of term of what people are searching for, but I'm also pulling in every single geolocation. And this is when I first started, it was a lot easier to rank in maps, but it kind of seems like we're kind of going backwards in time because of Rankbrain and everything's machine learning now. So it's almost like we took like 10 years backwards, and we can really stuff these pages with as much content, geo-relevance, and keyword relevance as we can. So moving forward, this is how I'm optimizing my Google My Business. I'm not really that concerned about ranking this in the SERPs. I just want to rank in maps. That's all I care about. What I covered previously, organizing your site, then you want to organize, each individual city and what you're trying to rank for in the SERPs. But this is, for me, I only focus on maps. I don't really do a whole lot of ranking organically for local. Me personally, I think there's a lot more traffic coming into maps than anything else.
If you had a choice, everyone in here, and you could pick, do you want a #1 ranking in the map, or do you want a #1 ranking in the organic search? Which would you pick?
Yep, I agree with all of you.
And
Maps.
especially now too, I mean, if we go to Plumber Seattle, it's going to look a little bit different. Like if you guys have ever, go ahead, you guys can do a search on mobile. This might look a little bit different. You may see these Google guarantees now showing in the pack here. So that's actually showing some of these sponsored ads into here. So now it's really pushing down a lot of these organic results. There's a reason why Google came out with their mobile first index, because guess what? Mobile searches have increased in a huge amount.
It's 80% of the traffic, man.
So now that it's pushing all these down, I don't really care about too much with this. If I'm doing client work, I mean, that's a little bit different. But me, since I do mostly lead gen, I focus on maps. I don't really care about organic. I want to make sure that I'm found here. So any questions about building landing pages for Google My Business? You can do this with the business sites. You don't have to just use it for your site. Google My Business offers you a free website if you want to use that.
And
you can still list all
those typically rank pretty well anyway. So
yeah, the good thing about the business sites too is Google actually automatically inserts schema in there for you too now, so you don't have to worry about that.
Does Google Maps factor in page authority of the GMB landing into things? I'm not sure what that question is.
Do they take into account, does DA help boost your map rankings?
That got pushed out probably back in like 2017, 2016.
Do you put your embed for your business on the landing page as well?
Yeah, you can, for sure.
You can. I don't embed, but what I'll do is I'll just grab a link from maybe grab the shortener or just grab the entire URL.
Are you putting
the site?
The Google GPS code on the landing page?
The plus code, I don't put the plus code on there.
GPS code.
That's a new test that I'm doing over this next month, because what I'm really trying to do is the biggest test that I'm doing now is I want to see how much proximity influence I can have by just having it on the page or have everything on the site.
Right. So in the example he's been showing, it shows zip code, but you're saying you could use community names as well. Yes, can use both.
You can use both. I mean, you can use there's enough traffic and people are pulling that in. If people are searching, hey, I'm looking for a plumber in the zip code.
I mean,
and yeah.
I don't even know if I don't know if Auto Transport Ogden's up anymore if the site's done, but this is basically the same landing page that we've been using for. No, it's not ranking. It's not ranking anymore. I don't know if the site's up.
I don't know if the site.
It's like freaking 10 years
That
old
was,
now.
yeah, it's not. But
It does. It feels like we're using the same landing pages now that we were 10 years ago.
yeah.
There's a CID question, but I don't think we're jumping into that right now at all, are we?
No, I
I'm
don't
just
think
talking
so.
about, we're
Yeah.
just talking about sites. We're not talking about linking or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's questions about a replay. There will be a replay, right, Brad?
Yeah, if someone hit record. But yeah,
Maybe.
I was trying to talk Jordan into doing another broadcast Saturday, but we'll see if he's around. So, all right. Any other questions for anyone? How's everyone liking everything so far?
My brain is bleeding. Good
That's
stuff.
good. That means you're learning, right?
How many mini nets would you build for a local city of 400K versus city of 200K? Well, one of our latest projects for the state, we're at about 988 sites.
But we're pulling in traffic from all those too. So
Yeah. But again, like we always say, you're building mini nets to build traffic and generate revenue as well as do linking.
Yeah, that's the mini nets is a whole different subject though.
It's the on page is what you will be focusing with on your mini nets. So focus on the on page and you can put that on, 10 sites, one site. It really comes down to market, it comes down to location, everything like that. So
yeah, I always say as many as it takes. So, and that's any type of linking.
Can you rank multiple GMB on many different inner URLs off one domain?
If you have, each location is going to have its own page.
Yeah, that's how I like to set it up. You do see companies where they just throw the homepage in on every GMB, like the larger companies.
I like them. I want each page to be unique as possible.
Yeah, you want to do that.
I mean, technically you can, like the Berkeley's one. You could, but again, technically, this would be. They do have quite a bit of content on the homepage, so I guess technically you could use it for that. But
no, I would. There's a question about do you have the GMB landing page as an orphan page? I would not orphan a page. No.
No. You want it to push juice to the internal.
You want the flow of the site. You're talking about main navigation. You just saved my butt with the landing page link from GM. Well, I'm glad Jordan saved your butt.
He saved mine a few times.
Quite a few times. But I think, Mike, you had stuff to go over too.
Where's the slides at? Jump back to that slide, to the slides.
Yeah,
Brad, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, let me bring it up and then throw it over to me. Do you want the Nutrafol one up, the support cluster?
No, wherever we were. I'm just looking at where we are in the flow.
All right, let me know whenever. Mike, throw the screen over to me and let everyone let me know. Yeah, there we go.
You got it.
All right, do I need to go to the next? Jordan pretty much covered all this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Perfect lander. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's talk national. Yeah. Who's doing national in here?
Yeah. There was a couple questions about, are you going to talk about national? What kind of national are you guys doing? You doing pub sites? Are you doing e-com sites? What are you doing? Yeah, e-commerce is fun.
E-commerce is very fun.
What's your favorite type of e-commerce site? Not niche, but if you've heard me speak before, you know exactly which kind of e-commerce site I'm looking for. Can someone remember or spit that out? No. Well, I'm looking. Yeah, of course, Jason. That's for you, buddy. Ones that make money. Yes, that's a great answer. So basically, my favorite type of e-commerce site or any site to actually go in and start optimizing is a site that's a year or two old, that has some funding and has been doing PR. They've not had some jackass SEO screwing up their freaking profile, but they've gotten some press exposure because they've got juice going in. And if they got juice going in and they've been blogging for a bit, I know a lot of people talk about don't blog, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine because blogging to me represents doing something without thinking about it. And publishing represents basically doing something with a purpose, okay? If that makes sense. So the blogging would be my writer's just going to go write about whatever the hell is going on today and blah, 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 blah. Publishing would be me saying, hey, writer, we're going to write a primary article about, say, biotin, like Nutrafol, we did for Nutrafol. And then we're going to go and we're going to write 4 or 5 support articles that support that actual primary article, okay? And those support articles are going to be things that are, one, you're going to check and make sure in SEMrush that a page is not already trying to rank for the term. Because who's seen it where you go and you go ahead and push a keyword and you didn't check, you didn't realize another page has started pulling up for that, and then all of a sudden you drop that the keyword's just gone out of your freaking search console or your rank tracker, whatever it is. Who's seen that? And if you haven't seen it, why aren't you paying attention to it? Okay, you have seen it. Good. You should be paying attention to it. And it's cannibalization, and it's important right now with like the way Rankbrain is that we pay attention to that cannibalization, but we also give them what they need, which is like teaching my 3-year-old son how to talk, right? How to talk properly. So we want a primary, hey, what is biotin about? An article that talks about everything about biotin, long form content. And then we want some smaller form content that talks about some of the salient entities that you're using inside of that long form content, right? And when I say salient entities, I'm kind of bastardizing the word because I mean keyword entities. I mean biotin for hair loss versus biotin for skin or something like that. So if your primary article has 1,000 words, you should probably have 4 or 5 H2s or 3s, whatever you're using in your HTML about different topics that biotin that fall under biotin, and then underneath that you should have 4 or 5 support posts that are about those topics individually, and those support posts should link back to your biotin primary article and push the relevance for those individual topics to that primary article. And it's that type of keyword clustering, which is basically little miniature virtual silos. So instead of like main category silos like everyone thinks of, you can think of keyword clusters as like tiny virtual silos. So, and in this case, you're using a standard silo versus a reverse silo. So you're linking from the supports to the primary article. Does that make sense? Any questions on that?
Yeah. How are you selecting your supporting article for any given keyword? Cognitive is what we use. Cognitive or TextRaiser is what we use to find salient entities typically.
Also, if you're going for easy wins on these types of sites, you're also looking for stuff that's maybe on position 10, page 1. I mean position below the fold on page 1 or page 2 or 3. Those are good topics that you can go after for your supports or part of your primaries.
Another thing that I use a lot, just because it's dead simple to do and I don't have to think about it, kind of a hacky thing, is the suggested keywords at the bottom. So take your main keyword phrase, put it into Google, scroll down to the bottom and see what else, those links at the bottom. See if there's
exactly that, and people also ask as well. You can use Ahrefs for that. So there's a question: do you link from the support page to the main page? Do you link to support page from the main page? In this case, no. The way I do this type of clustering, we are kind of just tiering and we're pyramiding up. So you're linking from your supports into your primary.
So from the smaller article to the larger article.
The goal of this is to get your primary ranking for a large set of keywords. So this is where you start seeing 800, 1,200 keywords ranking for a single article, right? Is when you start clustering your keywords like that. Let's see.
What links to the smaller articles? Typically external links.
Yeah, usually I'll do 1 to 3 external
to
links
everything.
per support and primary. Exact match when linking up to your main page, or mix it. I mix everything. I want my I don't want to get a lot into external, but 25% relevancy, you know, roughly. You're looking for like ranking domain or referring domains as well. But internally to the site, 4 to 5, not going much bigger than that. That's kind of where you want to be with this type of clustering. You don't want to go and do 15 support articles pushing into that primary. You know, 4 to 5 seems to be where we've seen our sweet spots. We've seen revenue increases of over 1,000% with this type of clustering. And when that type of clustering has been broken, you can watch the revenue drop as well. Revenue ranking, however you want to look at it.
Mike,
It's very easy to see.
did you want to tell them the way to do it for free if they already have an established site that they're working on? The search.
Yeah, no, and that's why I was saying what's that?
The search string.
The search.
Yeah, search for the keyword.
Oh, yeah, we can, absolutely. I mean, I guess I could pull let me see if my screen, I can pull this. Do you want to pull up, you want to show them real quick while I talk about it, Brad?
I can.
Do you have the screen? Yeah. So if you get an existing site that has been doing PR, and we've been able to drive massive increases of revenue by utilizing this technique alone without going into external linking until month 6 and 7. And that's by going and taking a look at a website. We can use whatever as an example. Yeah. And basically what we're looking for, if you have somebody who's been blogging for some time and doing press for some time, then you can just go in and do simple site searches with a keyword. And you're basically looking at what Google considers the most important pages for that keyword in its SERPs. So right now we see that this blog post is what Google is ranking as #1 for that site. So that would be your primary. If you're not going to write this content yourself and you're going to use existing content, this is the way you're going to do it. You're going to select the first page that Google shows in the SERPs, and that will be your primary article. And then you're going to pull the next 3 to 5 pages that Google lists in that SERP, and you're going to add links, contextual links from those posts to the primary article. Does that make sense? Like, we're talking about how to do this without writing new content and using existing content. Okay, Judy. So this is right here. This right here is really something I pay attention to. Then, if you have this situation, you absolutely can increase rankings, increase revenue by just doing these simple freaking. They're not. I can't even call them advanced queries because they're just simple queries.
If I can do them, they're not advanced. So, that's what he's saying.
No, it's not a linear silo. It's a pyramid. So basically what you're doing is you're looking for what Google says is the most important one. Call it. So show them the query one more time, Brad. They're asking again. So you're looking for what Google thinks is the most important page for the term on the website. And then you're taking the next 3 to 5 pages, and you're linking up to that primary page that Google has posted in there. And that is how you do this without writing content. So anybody who has a client that has tons of blog posts, you can start clustering for Rankbrain by just doing this without writing new content. And this is how, I'm not kidding you, we've driven 15, I'd say mid 5-figure campaigns just by doing this type of work. And it'll drive it for months, depending on how long they've been blogging.
Does that make sense to everyone? You guys have any clients you can use this on, maybe?
Yeah, there's a couple people that mentioned that they're doing press and blogging like that. And let's say, do you remove any of their existing links between the articles? Nope, I don't typically remove links. I don't interlink the support pages either. So I'm not cross-linking those. All we're doing is this search right here, doing this query, finding what the target is, and that's the top ranked result, as long as it makes sense. I mean, if it's a page that doesn't make sense, then you're going to go to the second one. But and then you're going to just link up from the next 3 to 5 pages to that top result. Yeah, it's keyword clustering. You're linking themes is 100% correct. What you're doing is you're telling little 3-year-old Rankbrain that, hey, we really want you to understand that this is what this stuff's about, and it's not just out there. You know, blogging, like I said, is has no purpose. Publishing has a purpose. So in this case, if someone's just been blogging for years, you can turn their blogging into something super powerful by using these types of tactics in the queries here. Let's see. Are you linking to the internal tier 1 cluster from anywhere internal? Tim, I'm not sure if I understand the question
Are you
right there.
linking anywhere from the site to the other tiers?
No, you're not doing anything like changing menu or anything like that. You're just literally linking up from a max of 5 pages, and it takes no time. And I'm not kidding. We have seen thousands of percent increase in revenue for people just doing these tactics, and those contracts carry hefty weight, you know. So if you can get in there, like Brad and Jordan and myself always say, simple is the best. If you see a site, or you have the opportunity, or you have a client now that is in that shape, that has, you know, they don't have a dirty link profile, they've got some press, and they've got a lot of blogging they've been doing, start clustering all that crap together, and you will start pulling additional terms everywhere. And the revenue, as long as you're working on conversion, the revenue will go up.
Yeah, we've seen 1,000% increases over a 6-month period.
Yeah,
before.
just doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so for those of you who said that you're in this situation, I strongly recommend you start doing this. I couldn't recommend anything else more than this, to be honest. Let's see.
Awesome. Chris has one that's going to be perfect for a new client coming on. So that's
Right
awesome.
on.
Yeah, this works exceptionally. This is how you need to be doing e-commerce. I mean, I don't like talking about this publicly too much because it's pretty powerful, but this is how you
This is how we do it.
Yeah, e-commerce is pulling all these terms. Then you're building retargeting lists if they don't buy. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. They will buy from this. So.
And that's a good point for those of you who say you have one coming on like this, or you have one like this. If they don't have a Facebook pixel and an AdWords pixel, even if they're not going to use it right now, get it up, because you are going to start capturing a ton of freaking activity by doing this. So what's the point of linking up if that result is number 1 already for the operator search? The point is to increase its ranking set.
For biotin, not the operator.
Right.
For biotin.
So you're increasing the amount of keywords and the amount of ranks it's pulling is what you're doing when you do this. Let's see. How do you handle anchors for that? I usually go aggressive for internal anchors, but those are already really relevant. I really like, to me, page relevance is the end all be all of most things. I don't go overly aggressive on commercial internally. I never do. I never would. Just use your best judgment and your gut based on.
You're already going to be optimized on page anyway, so it's going to carry a ton of relevance, even if you just use like the word guide or something. It's going to help push.
So there's a question. So I looked at my site with that query, and if I understand right, I should link the next 3 to 5 to the top result, right? Yes, that's 100% correct.
As long as it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you see something off, of course, don't do it. Someone's saying I'm using Topic Cluster and working very well for the last 6 to 8 months. Awesome. It's been working for a long time. It's been working forever, basically, but it's been working that much better lately with, you know, ever since Rankbrain and certain things have happened over the last year or two. It's worked even better for sure. I agree 100%.
That's an incredible gold nugget. Thanks, Richard.
Why don't you interlink the support? There's certain things in patents that I don't like when it comes to interlinking the support. I will say that I interlink supports in a different type of cluster for my local content. But in this process, I do not interlink them. Are you linking to the internal tier? That was, we already did that one. Can you explain how to clean up internal links on a site with 10K pages, posts? A lot of work.
A little bit of it at a time, a team.
Yeah.
A lot of money that you charge them is what I would say. But yeah, just go through. Anytime I have a huge project, what I like to do, and this is with anything, not SEO in particular, but I'll cluster stuff together. So I'll compartmentalize everything. So I'm like, I'll look at the pages in an SEO example. I'll look at the pages. What's the most important? What do we need to push right now? Where are the easy wins? Where's the money? What does the client want to see me rank for? I'll take all of that into account and prioritize, and then make sure I get the most important stuff knocked out first. And then I'll move on to the second most, third most, and just keep chipping away at it if I have a huge,
and let's all repeat,
undertaking like that.
The most important thing is what the client wants, always. So let's repeat that. Sometimes they make stupid ass decisions and they don't listen to you, even though you know they're wrong. However, if it's not going to kill the contract down the line, it's important to listen to them. So I want to make that point. I have a potential. Okay, that one was already done. Link from other blogs on that domain to the main one chronologically.
Yeah, it can apply to post and pages, Matt.
And it doesn't have to be chronologically. You're basing it on what Google's telling you. You want to do what Google's telling you. It's like any sort of property usage of Google's properties. Transparency, like using what Google is telling you, or they're giving them transparency so they can see what's going on, is extremely important, especially on your tier, on your money site and your tier one.
Yep.
That's some dope, fresh shit. Thank you.
This also can apply for local too if you have any
Absolutely.
supporting pages.
100%. It's not just a national thing. It can apply anywhere where you want to go in and you want to do some stuff real quick. Amy, I do not link down. I only link one direction.
Just like his favorite band.
And if you get into different page rank patterns and things like that, I hate you.
Took a second.
Yeah, it did. I was thinking, or not thinking, but then you will find out why you are linking one direction in certain situations, and that's to maintain the flow of the juice, basically the proper way. Let's see.
This is a really good question. My national client ranks well, but need to drive more traffic to the site. So should this help traffic? Yes, the internal linking and also going through it with Cog and refreshing the content is the very first
100%.
thing that I would do.
And we might as well talk about that since we brought up Cog anyways. What was the 1 month increase for just going through and popping and cogging in the site? It was 180% or something like that.
No, it's 120. It's not quite 180.
120.
Yeah. And then
right.
in the substance abuse niche, we got 40 in the first month, 40% increase in traffic, then 30 the following month, I think. So yeah. We have our content writers trained on cognitive, and I can download a screaming frog report, delete all the URLs that I don't want them to go through that doesn't really make sense, and say, here's the site. I'll put it in Trello. This is how I lay out the whole project. I'll put it in Trello, and I'll say, here's the site login. Here's a link to the sheet with all the pages that I want to do. Highlight them as you finish them. Let me know when you're done, and then they'll go through it, and that's like month one, and we don't have to pay them that much to do it. And usually that's on larger contracts because it's a lot of pages for them to bust through in a whole month. But yeah,
but it absolutely increases traffic.
Yeah, that's how you see 40+% increases in traffic the first month.
And
some cases 120.
We don't have time tonight to get into it, but at another time we probably can. But this is how you start turning yourself into an asset for your clients if you're doing client work rather than just a mystical SEO magic man, right? You're delivering something to them, especially if you're publishing for them. So
here's a good question too.
Yeah. Go for
it. If you're maintaining link flow, then why are you linking from location pages to service pages? on the page if you're already linking from service page to location pages. Because with local, you can actually have what I call what's relevance hopping. You can get relevance and internal linking coming from a geo page only and only a service page as well. It doesn't have to be from the same geo set, or it doesn't have to be from the same service set.
And another thing to say about that is there's more than one type of juice that flows. No follow versus do follow, this versus that. I said when I do it in this type of cluster, that way, that's only one type of cluster. There's different clusters that I use in different situations based on what I'm trying to accomplish. It comes down to where do you want to rank, where do you not want to rank. I mean, it comes down to a lot of decisions that have to do with business and conversion. So it's this cluster, what we showed you right now for the national part of this, that is what I do that works for this particular cluster. I am not saying that there's not other things that you can cluster in a different way that won't work, but what you do not want to do is start mixing tactics together. That's when, if someone watches one person's course and another person's training, tries to put all this shit together, well, now you're doing a system that isn't proven. You're making your own system that might or might not work. When we talk about this type of cluster, I mean this cluster only. So that's why there's different ways you can do this. That's why in a certain situation, you might just want the relevance to flow for you. You might want PR to flow for you. It really depends on what you're trying to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Have a client with 50K on e-commerce side, but the blog is dead. This will help revive it. Yeah, this will definitely help revive it. Go through. Yeah. Go through it with COG and pop it a little, and
then make sure you're watching your conversion rate and your user metrics and shit.
Yeah, then throw them into Search Console as you finish them. Just get them recrawled, and they'll pop up.
Let's see.
Question. Matt says it's off topic though.
Work with writers and they're popping and cogging after they write the new content. Do they upload to the website? We trust certain writers to upload to the website, yes. And I make them include that in their pricing depending on who they are.
Yeah, it's included in the article price.
If follow-up. If I don't link from locations to service, can I maximize my link budget? If you are trying to save money with link building, is there a best way to send links to etc. a single direction? That is yeah, I think that got answered. Okay, cool. I do this now for my company, a major US telecom, and it works like magic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm glad it's working for you. Yeah, it's great. Thanks for answering the question. I thought I was the only one who knew about this. Guess I was wrong. It's amazing what everyone knows and it never gets talked about, Do you link to blog from first page? Yeah, basically the main page of the blog is usually in the menu.
Can you show a visual on what you mean for linking up to the next 3 to 5 in the main one? It's just you go in there, you add an extra sentence to the supporting, and you link from there to the main page that you want to rank. So it's just like a straight pyramid is all it is.
So there's a question about for national sites that are large, is there a benefit in getting 20 to 30 internal links to a page, or is there a cutoff? I typically cut off at 5, and then I'll start to cluster it in another way because there's salient entities all over the place. So 5 might be biotin, and then another 5 might be a subset of biotin that has enough supporting keywords to make its own cluster. And then if that's the case, then there might be some other linking you might do, but that's getting a little deeper into it. It's about really keeping the targeted keywords and the targeted theme together into a little virtual silo so that the primary is just starts smashing it.
Wait, do we have more to cover? Holy crap.
I know.
That was huge, Mike.
Thank you, sir. So was yours. Any
Um,
suggestions for the best managers given the payments changes in the Rankbrain? I don't do keep testing all the time. Testing probably should, if you're running an agency, you probably should be testing in a way that fits what you're doing for your clientele, meaning it's working for one client and then roll it into another client. That's kind of how I do it.
I never test. I just do what Jordan tells me to do, and Mike, of course. But
Link another layer of clusters to the first group of clusters. That kind of fits into the 20 or 30 question. This question here, do you ever link another layer of clusters to the first group of clusters? It really depends on how the entity is broken down, right? So if there's enough saliency in the style of the main topic, then potentially you will. Do you remember where you learned this tip? Just curious. Do I remember where I learned this tip?
17 years of SEO.
yeah.
Right?
Is it okay?
I mean, I've been doing it forever.
Is it okay for a page to link to more than one primary? That's a good question. I mean, if it covers 2 topics, then I would say, yeah, it probably could.
You just don't want to you don't want to confuse Rankbrain. So you want to make sure that every decision you make is based on making sure that it is explaining what a topic is to a 3-year-old. Vic, the anchors really are whatever's in there that looks good at the time. I'm typically not adding content into that when I do it. So target page 5 support. So target page 5 supporting links up to 2,000 words, 5 supporting link to 5 supporting. Yep. We have a site that has the opportunity to rank for 100 money page. Would you in effect have 100 clusters of 5? If you have that many primary, what you can consider primary articles, then you'd come in with whatever is the most cost effective to get the job done. I mean, I say 3 to 5 because some stuff's less competitive than others, and there's different budgets and different campaigns. Geo-relevance can do location places to the main location page for service. Location will help. This, Jordan, so for geo-relevance, can you do locations like places to the main location page for service and location, and will it help? I'm not sure I get the question 100%.
I don't understand that question.
All right. More questions about a replay. All right.
I think we've gotten through pretty much everything, guys. Do we want to head on?
I think we should, yeah.
Awesome.
I think people have
really appreciate you guys answering everything, too. That's awesome for everyone that came. Can everyone give, Mike and Jordan, I know Jordan actually drove, 11, 12 hours to work on this presentation personally?
I did.
Like live in living color with Mike. He drove all the way up to, where do you live? Canada somewhere, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Pretty much Idaho, really. They ate potatoes all weekend and worked on this. So has everyone liked the presentation so far? Did you get a lot out of it? Think you could start using it on the local, national? We wanted to cover local and national because we know some people do one, some do the other. If you're like us, you do both. So wanted to cover everything. And plus, they kind of cross-pollinate as well. Awesome. Super local.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. Thanks. Awesome. I'm glad everyone liked it. So just as a recap, in the past hour, everyone's saying they like the info. Hopefully you feel like your time's been well spent. It's going over a little bit just because they wanted to cover every single question that came in, which is awesome. I didn't see one that either of them skipped. If they missed them, then sorry, we just can't read fast enough. But so to recap, how to precisely pick the perfect set of sub niches in your category, properly organizing your exhaustive list of LSI keywords like Mike covered, and how to properly snipe geolocations in order to take over entire service areas. That was just the keyword stuffing portion. Huge for local and PPL, because the more keywords you rank for, especially in PPL, the more calls you're going to get and the more money you're going to make. So hopefully everyone, it's looking like that they liked it. But we did have a little something extra for you. You guys ready for a surprise?
Those of you that stayed,
Yeah.
we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Let's see. Yes, 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 F yes.
Some words we can't say.
I could say them very easily, but all right. So here's the big surprise. We've had NFG, right? NFG 2017, 2018. Dory's had the Rockstar events. I think she's on like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know how the hell many she's had.
I think it's 8 now.
It's 10.
It's
8, 10?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's 10.
10, whatever. But this year we are combining all of our resources, all of our knowledge, all of our, the presenters that we love to have there. We're bringing them all together, and we're having NFG Rockstars 2019 on October 1st through the 2nd. And no, it's not in Greensboro this year for all of my NFG fans. It is in Anaheim at Disneyland. I was hoping Orlando, because that's, I could drive there, but
nope, we're making Brad fly this year.
going the opposite way this year. So so I mean, this is going to be huge. A little bit about what we're going to cover at the event. I know everyone that's been to the events in the past have absolutely loved them. Who in here has been to the event? I know I see a lot of familiar names. Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, and anyone that's been to Dory's as well, because I know she always puts on a badass event.
Yeah, the one last year in Vegas was amazing.
Yeah, always learn stuff. Yep, we did it midweek just to save everyone on hotels, and so it's harder to get away on the weekends sometimes with the family and stuff. So we're doing it that way this year. But to be honest, you're going to get a full membership Skype access. That's worth its weight in gold. I know Dory in the past, I don't think has really done a membership area. We like to do that because we like to just give you a bunch of pre-event knowledge, have a place to get together before the event. So all said and done, like Jordan's in there every day helping answer questions and everything, which I mean is worth way more than 1164, but we put a value on it of 1164. Advanced SEO tactics, of course. At a Rockstar NFG event, you're going to have some super advanced stuff that we really can't share on these type of webinars. You're getting the stuff that's golden, but you're going to get platinum at the event. We're putting a 1997 value on that, and then the on-page trickery that we're going to cover. We're going to get deeper than we got tonight. I know, like, everyone can take what they learned tonight and really apply it, but you're going to get way more, because you really can't cover that much in hour and a half. I think you can cover way more in 2 days, of course. So that puts total value at $36.58. And for anyone asking who the event's for, the event's for SEOs who want to learn badass cutting edge stuff, which I think is everyone in here. Is that pretty much everyone in here? Badass SEO tactics
I
that
want
you can
to
take
learn
home
badass shit.
make more money and crap. I want to learn a badass SEO tactic if I can use it to add to my bottom line, to be honest. So anyone else, also anyone looking to add additional revenue streams, that is what I am all about. You hear people, you need money, you need to have money in real estate stocks, blah, blah, blah. No, have money in GMBs, have money in websites, have all this money coming in. That's just, I built
online real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Online real estate. You can do rank and rent. I never really got into that model. I just do PPL and just blow it up, because I like that over having a ton of clients, just because I own the assets and I'm not gonna pull the plug on myself, typically.
Anyone that wants to see Holly barf on the rides is what Holly says.
There you go. I don't want to see that.
Gotta be a fair amount, right?
Yeah. So it's for brand new, you're going to learn a ton if you're brand new, and if you're a veteran, you're still going to pick up a ton. The way, like I said, that Jordan, Mike, and I, and Dory, of course, lay stuff out is we try and do it step by step so you can go home and you can follow it. At events in the past, we've had people ranking page 1 for terms before they got off the plane home. So and they did it all there. So anyone that's stuck at a certain level of income, I've heard different levels of income. 30K a lot of times is the place that people get stuck at. Of course, you get stuck at different levels, but we want to like show you some stuff to allow you to compress your time and really allow you to take it to the next level or spend more time with your family if that's what you're
The
in.
next bullet point is my favorite one.
Lonely business owners. Who in here gets a little lonely hanging out at the office by themselves all day? At the home office, some of us.
I do.
I know I've met my partners at events, and
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite parts is the networking.
Yep.
I absolutely love the networking and finding people to joint venture with or work campaigns with. It just, to me, it's an amazing freaking
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
So.
Mike and I actually met at an event, and then we've seen multiple people kind of concoct partnerships while at this event because you can really find someone that um, coincides with your style and what you're good at. You find someone that's good at something else, you team up, or someone that might have an opportunity and they don't know how to kind of follow through with it, and you can help them with that as well, or vice versa. If you have an opportunity and need to find someone to run the campaign for you, there you go. Then it's just free money at that point. So yeah, lonely business owners. So putting this event together, we had two choices. We could go as cheap as possible, come out with a bare bones, fluffed up pitch fest for a cutthroat rate to shove as many people in the doors as possible. But honestly, with the level of support that we like to provide, there's no way in hell we could do that. Instead, the second option, we went with cherry picking presenters and info, only having the best people and info there, devote a ton of time and resources into material, and most importantly, support, and host an event that will actually help people make money, not one that you just go get all pumped up about, and then a week later you're like, oh yeah, I went to that event last week, didn't I? Like, what did I learn? No, we want you to be applying it like on the plane ride home, or like run back up to the hotel room and start applying it and making money as soon as possible. So again, here's what you get: full membership, Skype access, 1164 value, advanced SEO tactics, 1997 value, on-page trickery, as I mentioned, 497, going way more in depth than we did tonight. GMB/PPL hacking, that's kind of Jordan's specialty. 1997, really, like I would come to the event for that just because that is my number one way I like to set up revenue streams now is PPL and just bringing in calls. I think my biggest expense right now is my phone tracking systems. So power linking done the right way, we value that at 347. Systemizing national, you kind of saw the bird's eye view of it tonight with the Nutrafol case study. We're going to be digging deep into that. We're putting that at a 49.97 value because with one client you can make way more than that, and even the first month. And then a silver bullet, we always include something that we do not show anywhere else, that is not covered anywhere else, that is going to just blow your mind away. I don't like to talk about it on here, but just know it's going to be worth its weight in gold.
It's a good one this year.
Yeah. What was it? Last year or the year before, I literally dropped the mic after it got put out. So, but we're putting that at 997 for a total value, grand total of 20,996. We do have a few bonuses. Who in here who's followed Jordan has ever heard of his PPL Academy course that is sold separate from GMB Master Academy, everything like that? Anyone ever got like hopped on that? No? You know why?
We haven't released it.
Because we put it together and never released it. We just never promoted it. It shows you how to set up a PPL agency, how to start building your PPL agency right away. And we want to include this kind of stuff. So before the event, you can come and you can hopefully already be making a little bit of money, especially if you hop on soon. But we're putting that at a 527 value. Honestly, the real value of that is way more, but that's what we were going to sell it for. So 527 value. For everyone that hops on early, this is all early bird stuff. So bonus two, we're going to give you a month free of GMB Master Academy. That is Jordan, Mike, and I's full GMB course. That includes a ton of stuff and monthly webinars, everything like that. You're going to get a free month of that. And then Mike and I have a traffic course that we're going to give everyone lifetime access to that sells for $397 a month. So all in all, the total value of that is $4,861. And then bonus three, you're getting Dory, who could not be here tonight, but she is rooting us on page one engine, and that's a $497 value. And then SIA massive founder rate discount. You're getting it for $2,664 off. So she's automatically just handing that over for anyone that wants to join us in Anaheim. So again, to recap it, full membership, Skype access 1164, advanced SEO tactics 1997, on-page trickery 497, GMB PPL hacking tactics 1997, power linking the right way $347, and there were a lot of questions about linking throughout the night. We didn't have time to get into it with just a smaller webinar, but we will have plenty of time to get into it in Anaheim. Systemizing National, you got a pretty good preview of that tonight, right under 5K. The silver bullet, the as it shall not be named, 9,997. PPL Academy, 527 value. GMB and web traffic takeover, 1,997. Page one engine 497, and the massive SIA discount 1997 for a grand total of 29,548. That's the bare minimum value that we're putting on this bad boy. And just a quick question: if all of this event did was allow you to set up just a few additional revenue streams, and I know I sound like a broken record, but that's what I'm all about. If you can set up these revenue streams that are running in the back while you can focus on your primary business, maybe your brick and mortar business, maybe your e-com empire, maybe your client agency, going out and getting new clients, and not have to sweat every month about like, okay, the bills are paid with this stream of income, right? Now I can really focus on this other stuff and just blow it up and not have to stress about anything else. Would that be worth it if we could show you how to set up a few of those? If we could just give you a handful of gold nuggets like tonight that make your life way easier in your day-to-day, would it be worth it? And if we showed you exactly what to do when, kind of over the shoulder, live and in living color, and help you land at least one high ticket client. That's my goal too, is multiple revenue streams. And I think everyone in here should experience one high ticket client. They're fun, aren't they, Mike?
I love them.
Yeah.
They're a good baseline.
Especially when they've already done the hard work for you and they've got the entity built and Google knows who they are, and you just make a few tweaks. But yeah, or all you have to do is spend 20 minutes a month and you get 50K in a
yeah, no doubt.
but anyway, yeah, if you could get one high ticket client. So speaking of high ticket clients, what would one client be worth to you? Do you consider
what do you consider a high ticket client? Actually, that's what I'm wondering.
1K,
it'll help.
5K, 10K, 25K, more than that.
Based on your business, what's a high ticket client? And we're not calling you out or naming anyone, just for us. Okay, I agree with you.
20K plus.
Yep, some
good.
Some good numbers.
Good
10's
number.
good.
I like 10.
Yep. 10, 20. What would you pay to learn how to get like a single high ticket client? Would you like? And remember, that's 20K a month that you're shooting for, right? Probably pay quite a bit. And just so you know, we're not blowing smoke. Here is one of our clients that we've been working with for a while.
Since 2017.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty early 2017 too. So
Yeah, it was very early.
yeah, and this was kind of a set it and forget it type campaign. We did quite a bit of work in the very beginning just to get things set up, but now it's literally I think I spend 10 to 15 minutes a month and Mike spends about the same on it, but do not tell them that for the love of God.
Yeah, it's about a 30-minute a month campaign.
Exactly. So yeah, as you can see down here, $51,900. This was monthly. So you can see why the companies pay us $50K a month, though, right? Like we get, I mean, 1,000%
The reason is
ROI.
we make them money.
Exactly. Our campaigns convert. We bring in high quality traffic. Consistent, and they can see results. Maybe not in the first day or two, but like we've said, we've seen 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% or more traffic increases in month one, and just calls go through the roof. And we've actually saved companies that have bought web properties for 150 grand, got all the links pulled, and then we had to come in and to save everything.
And it's all about systemization. It goes back to that systemization, which is super key.
Yep. Yeah, we combine SEO and paid for instant, consistent lead flow, and that goes back to the web traffic takeover tactics as well, and mixing those in with your SEO. And honestly, our confidence, we go in there knowing what we can do. So that's another big reason why we can land the 50K plus clients. So everyone think, like, if you could land one 50K client, one 10K client, would it be at least worth 6K to you?
I'd arbitrage that.
Yeah.
I like spending 6K for 20K.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Daniel said his retention rate's good, so 10K would be like golden. So we're not even going to charge you that. All we're going to charge for the event is $14.97, or if you want to do the two-pay, $7.97 for anyone that's interested. Hopefully you liked what you got here tonight. We're going to have way more presenters in Anaheim. And nfgrockstars.com is where you
appreciate
can go.
it, guys. nfgrockstars.com. The brands fit together. It was the stars aligning. I bought a ticket to Dory's first event, and here we are years later, and it's just kind of gone boom.
Yeah, and honestly,
it's crazy how it all came together.
Yeah,
really.
Because we teamed up with Dory, we were able to kind of reduce the price a little bit too, because of
October 1st and 2nd.
Yep. But we got to have more, right?
Yeah, there's always got to be more.
Who in here's gone to the page yet? Yeah, sounds like a recipe for brain embolism, SEO nuggets overload. That is the reason why we have the private Skype group, to be honest. So
yeah, it's all about the community that's built. Like the event is amazing to meet and learn tactics, but the community and the follow up is important so that we can all grow together and continue to make money together. So,
or how about just being in a room where you can talk common sense, where people don't think you're a crazy person.
Yeah.
Where they don't think you're a hacker that's stealing money from freaking Google's vault.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've been to events in the past, and they lacked the post-event support, and it's no matter how good the event is, it's disappointing when like you've got these questions after you get home, and you just can't get them answered, and like you're just stuck, and you wasted however much you spent to go to the event. Like, we know that people are spending money to go and see us speak, so we want to make sure that you get the most out of it, because I mean, you're not going to buy anything else from us again, right? So
yeah. Well, the great thing is
really
too And the great thing is, I mean, our set list that we have, I mean, everyone is very, very approachable. And you can come up to Brad, Mike, or I and talk our ear off, when we're all, having a beer or something together. Same thing with Kyle and
You
Ted.
can come up and buy me one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike likes Jack and Coke, not beer. So there's more. For anyone, we've had a ton of requests in the past at the NFG events for a third day. Now this is optional, but this is going to be smaller classroom style. Like we're capping it pretty low. There is an OTO on there, but it's small cap classroom style setting where you can sit down and really dig into your personal project. So we want people to bring, stuff that they're working on. If you want to build your PPL empire, then like hit us up before the event and then come to the third day. We can help you apply everything that you learned at the event. We can take a look if you're stuck in your agency at a certain level. It's really going to be the place to do it. And of course, you're going to have even more advanced stuff, even more time for stuff to maybe slip out that Jordan didn't want to say, but he's been drinking a little too much. That happens. So
yeah, I'll make sure that there's shots going into the coaches on that third day.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll buy a round for him. So for anyone wondering what's included in the VIP day, like I said, one-on-one personal coaching and training from most, if not all, of the presenters that are going to be there. The guys on this webinar and Dory are definitely going to be there. Workshop classroom style setting. It's hard. We had to underprice this on here because it just seemed like too much with the amount of presenters that are going to be there and the amount of time that they're going to be there. It was at least $60K worth of value, because if you buy, like, what do you charge an hour if you want private coaching from you, Mike?
The last 1,000 an hour.
Yeah, so we lowered that and then multiplied it by the 8 times 10 people, 10 coaches, however many we're going to have there. So, and then we had to reduce it from there. So, workshop classroom style setting. I mean, that kind, like, what do you pay to go to like college? Like, this is SEO college that you go to. And then of course afterwards, private 24/7 Skype support. We're going to have a separate Skype room for the VIP people, so we can discuss the specific tactics that are included there as well. We're valuing that the same at 1164, and then massive closed door tactics that are worth way more than 20 grand, but we priced it at 19,997, putting the VIP day only at 101,661 in value. And to be honest, I mean, if you can land one big client from that, or set up a few different revenue streams, it's going to pay itself back pretty quick. So we got some VIP day bonuses specifically for the people that jump on that. 1 month access to Dory's 500 site link network that she sells, and that's $497 value. She's going to personally put together the 5 site DFY PBN network for everyone that comes to the third day at a $497 value, and she's handing out the SIA optimized WordPress theme, which I was surprised she did for $29.97, and that makes it $39.91 for just the bonuses for the third day. So a recap: VIP day plus bonuses, one-on-one personal coaching and training. We value that at way more than $60K, but that's what we're putting here. Workshop classroom style setting at $20K value. Private 24/7 Skype support access, personal access to all the coaches, 1164 value. Massive closed door tactics, way more than 20K, but we priced it at 19,997. 1 month access to Dory's 500 site network, 497 value. 5 site DFY PBN network at 497, and the SIA optimized WordPress theme at 29.97 value, for a total value with bonuses included of 105,652. So the 3-day value recap, we're putting the main event, the total ended up being 20,996. Main event bonuses 8,552. closed door VIP day, 101, 661 VIP bonuses, 3,991 value. For a total value, if you come to all 3 days, for $135,200. Now, we know the value is there. I think everyone here knows the value is there because we personally, and Michael attests to this, have seen millionaires made at these events, and I know Dory has as well, but us personally at the NFG events, we've seen millionaires made on multiple occasions. They took what they learned, simple hubbing tactics, simple, on-page tactics that they took and just blew out of the water, and applied it to their everyday business. And they started multiple $1 million companies since then.
One of my favorite things about these events is watching people just progress and seeing their businesses freaking just blow up.
So again, just for the bonus day, you can see why it'd be a good deal at 10K. But again, because everyone in here is pretty special. We like you. You spent quite a bit of time with us tonight. I don't see how with me rambling, but we're including the VIP day. You want to come for this third day that we've had requested. I think every year we've done an event, right, Mike?
They have. They want the over-the-shoulder business examination is what it is. Everyone wants them.
Yeah, so we're including the third day. It's just 4 payments at $249.
And to be clear, you got to be going to the first 2 days so that we can help you implement those into your business on the third day. So it's an addition. You know what I mean? We can't just have people coming to the third day.
Yeah, there's no way that would work because they're just going to be behind, and you're just going to be pissing away the money that you paid for the day. Well, not completely pissing away. You get the value, but we want to keep the numbers on the.
I want to see new millionaires this year.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So again, head over to nfgrockstars.com. You can grab the main event, which is October 1st through the 2nd, and then the third day, which is October 3rd. We're going to blow it out. It's going to be in Anaheim. All the information will be in the members area on hotels, everything like that. And Dory does not do crappy hotels. Neither do we. So, we're not doing it the Red Roof Inn or anything. So.
Yeah, if you guys, and you'd be missing a lot if you don't come to the third day too. I mean, we really do full on, like you're in a college classroom, like we actually full on like workship.
Yeah, people say over the shoulder, but this is literal over the shoulder. And George,
we have some great speakers. Some of them have been in attendance, like Terry, Kyle, Clint, people that I use their tools that, I might have them take a look at my freaking business on that third day if I can steal some time away. But it's one thing to implement it yourself, but it's another thing to get that over the shoulder and actually that FaceTime with people where you never know what's going to happen. Might make good friends with somebody, and that's like I said, I always love the networking the best. So that third day is pretty freaking amazing.
Shit, how much money have we made together and we met at that event?
Yep, exactly. It's we're talking. We made some money.
We've done all right. But and we're not talking like selling courses and stuff. Like selling courses and doing events, we do that for fun. It's a very small portion of our income. I'm talking, when I ask them how much money have we made, I'm talking about through client work, through PPL, through all that other stuff, not through selling courses. It is a very small. It's probably what we spend a lot of our time on. But as far as income levels go, I've always said if I make more money from doing courses or helping Jordan put together GMBMA or helping Dory with an event or anything like that, if I make more money from that type of stuff than I do with the actual agency or PPL stuff, then I need to quit teaching at all because I shouldn't be doing it. So
Matt, we can probably work something out to where you understand everything and are getting the support you need. Yes.
Yeah, we'll make sure everyone's taken care of. We always do. All right, so before we said we had two choices. We could put together a pitch fest piece of crap event, or we could really buckle down, pull in everyone, all of our resources, and have one epic badass event where two SEO juggernauts come together. You see which one we chose. So now you have two choices. You could do nothing, not take the leap of faith, keep doing what you're doing, I mean, if you're stuck, you could stay stuck or maybe try and get your way out of it, but maybe even just get by with your agency, your PPL efforts, stuff like that. Or the second option, make a small investment compared to the massive value that you get in return and just give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, you're still going to, be able to easily earn a return with the massive amount of information, connections, everything like that. If you absolutely don't apply anything, then of course you're not going to make your money back. But I've almost always made my money back from events, and I've never been to one of our events as an attendee. So we know that people can make their money back and do very, very well with the information that we're going to give them. So that's your choice, I guess. So again, our guarantee, sign up today. If you don't feel 100% ready to take it to the absolute next level, one of the coaches is going to personally reach out and answer any questions you might have. Like Mike just said with Matt, we're going to be with you every step of the way to help you go. If you leave the event, you're like, oh crap, what do I do now? Please, for the love of God, reach out to one of us or all of us and ask us, and we don't mind sitting there on Skype or doing whatever we need to do to get you pointed in the right direction. So that's kind of our guarantee there. So again, nfgrockstars.com if you want to hop on. So the real question is it worth it gambling a few minutes just to think about it? Which if the event is even half of what we've claimed it can do, it will easily pay for itself again if you take action. But just go in here with, okay, I'm going to set up one additional revenue stream. Show me how to set up one additional revenue stream. If you leave the event and you're like, fuck, I don't know how to set up an additional revenue stream, reach out and we will take care of you as much as possible. So
I got one thing. I always like to throw something in that I haven't talked to anybody about. Who's signed up who's already got their ticket? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer, and then my bonus is over. All right. Awesome. Okay. So the ones of you that are getting it in there right there, we're going to be having our private conversation about link building and how to keep that cost down immensely and how to make your revenue probably I don't even know what percentage to put on it, Brad, when it comes down to how you actually make how much extra freaking money you make when you actually build correctly when it comes to linking. So there's a couple.
Are we doing dinner? Are we doing dinner again?
I think we are, but it's going to be a dinner that's revolved around link building, just for those that have said that they're going to be there right now. So for those of you that just said that you bought a ticket, we got a special thing for you. Well, I got a special thing for you personally.
Are you talking about the
all right,
the one campaign that we have?
Yeah, I'm talking about them getting links very, very affordably.
Nice, yeah.
Yep, there's actually more than I thought there would be. So maybe I bit off too much I could chew. So.
You have to rent out like a dinner hall or something. Going to a cafeteria with Mike.
we're going to the hotel across the street.
Right? No doubt.
I hope they have.
It's everything, Chris. Good job, Mike.
I hope they have Golden Corrals in Anaheim. So again, you can attend for just $14.97 single pay. Again, that's the lowest we've ever had an event. Or if you want to do the 2-pay, it's $7.97, and that option will go away. Just because, we can't have people paying for the second pay after the event. So it just makes sense. Plus VIP day for just 4 payments of $249. If you haven't already, you can head over to nfgrockstars.com and, get that, reserve your seat. Cause, did Dory say it's not unlimited seating, right?
For the VIP day?
It's very limited.
Yeah,
no,
but
it's
VIP
limited.
day, it's extremely limited. I know that. I mean, for the main event.
No, it's not. We're capped. So
Okay.
if you do want to go, get in there and go, because
Yeah.
I'm looking up until the end of this webinar. If you've told me that you have a ticket and we can confirm that, then we're going to have a special conversation.
Yeah.
So
here's a little thing I like to do, and this is why I love that it's in Disneyland. We're going to do a little double dipping tax work. And again, I am not a tax professional, so check with your tax professional first. bring your family to Disneyland, get some bonus points at home, and get some badass SEO info. And that's why I'm always about double dipping. But yeah, kind of right off your vacation. Again,
I'm going to the day before. I'm going to go a day early and go to Disneyland with Dory.
That's
nice.
because you want to see Holly throw up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, buy Holly a bunch of corn dogs and then go on Smash Mouth.
Yeah,
All
on
right. There's a new make Holly bar bonus.
Yeah, there we go. So, quick question. Even with the right info isn't enough. To be honest, I know I would not be where I am without people like Mike, without people like Jordan. They can kind of
Without
guide
people
me
like Brad.
because I'm more of a caveman than they are, and I'm not going to dig through some GD patents. You know, Mike's going to go through the patents and tell me what's working. Jordan's going to be in the GMB lab and tell me what's working, and then I can just go apply it in my own business stuff, or they show me how to do it, and I can systemize it and be the workhorse and just bust it out. Okay, you did it in an hour, I'll do it in like 20 minutes and then do it like 20,000 times, you know. So what I'm getting at is information sometimes is enough. You really need someone there to help you along every step of the way. So so if you haven't already, like we said, just go over to nfgrockstars.com. It's going to be a badass event, especially with Dory this year and all the people that she's bringing to the table. We couldn't have built this kind of presenter list without her, and we're bringing in some badasses as well. So
there's a question about recordings. There are certain things we don't ever record. But if you are new and you have questions, what we can tell you is, and people in here can tell you, that we have groups from years ago where we still support the events that people went to. You will never be left alone with the information you've given. You will always have somebody to talk to. So if you're new and worried about that, we will be there to support you, and there's no question. It just is what we do.
all right, so again, to recap it, let me take a deep breath. So full membership, Skype access, we're putting value at $11.64. Advanced SEO Tactics, $19.97. On-page trickery tactics at $4.97. GMB PPL hacking, which I am exceptionally excited about, $19.97. Power linking done the right way, $3.47. Systemizing national, worth way more than $5K, but $49.97. The silver bullet, as it shall not be named, $9,997. Bonus one, PPL Academy at $527. GMBMA plus WTT at $19.97. Page one engine at $497, and a massive SAA founders discount at $19.97 for a total value for the first 2 days of $29,548. VIP bonus day. I hope as many people, I hope everyone in here can at least make it. I mean, someone watching the replay or something. It's maybe not, but I'm hoping as many people in here can make it, because it really is going to help you with this one-on-one training. But remember, that is capped though, so getting quick. One-on-one personal training and coaching at $60K. Workshop classroom style setting, $20K. It's going to cost you way more than that to get all these people together individually, to be honest, if they were being paid their normal rates. Private 24/7 Skype support, $11.64. Massive closed door tactics, $19.97. 1 month access to Dory's 500 site link network, which will definitely help you with your link building, $4.97. 5 site DFI PBN network, get everything started right away at $4.97. SIA optimized WordPress theme, $29.97 for a total 3-day value of $105,652.
So real quick, there were too many people that said they grabbed tickets. I need people to contact me via Skype tonight. Shoot me over your confirmation, whatever, something to show me that you did grab a ticket, so that I know who is a part of what we're going to be doing for the Lincoln stuff.
Yep.
And
So
if Mike's buying dinner, I'm buying dessert. I have an extra bonus I'm throwing in for G&B.
as long as Mike doesn't use our company card this year, I'm fine with it. So again, 3-day value cap, main
I
event.
never said dinner. I never said dinner. I said
He said
talking
linking
about
tactics.
links,
Yeah.
saving money on links.
Yeah. So 3-day value recap, main event 20,996, main event bonuses 8,552, closed door VIP day 101,661, VIP bonuses 39.91 for a total 3-day value of 135,200. So if you haven't signed up immediately, I know a ton of people have, honestly, more than I thought. If you haven't signed up immediately, it may be because, you might not think you can afford it. You're worried about fitting it into your schedule, or you're not sure if this is the right fit for your agency. And in my opinion, all of those are smoke screens. You're on here, you know the value these guys bring to the table. I really think you can't afford not to go. Not that you're not going to be successful without it, but I mean, it's really, really going to make things a whole lot easier. I know working with Mike and Jordan I've been working with Mike, I think 4 or 5 years now. Been working with Jordan, year and a half,
It's
2
like
years now.
2 years now, yeah.
Yeah, it has helped me immensely. I can't even begin to tell you how much it's helped me with my personal ventures, not to mention what we've worked together on as well. And to be honest, all of these should be mute points unless you have something huge in your schedule that you can't move around. But I would make every effort to be here, especially if you know what kind of event we put on. We don't put on the fluffy pitch fest events. We're not going to be like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Kyle
No,
might,
there's
but
no pitch.
he's
There's no
pretty
pitch.
cheap.
We're about systems, and we're about making money. And I'm about abundance, and I want to see everybody have as much freedom as they can. So it's about coming in and learning a system to implement and make money off of.
Exactly. So if at all possible, I would try and be there. And again, like I said, without people like this, I mean, I'm really nothing special. I'm not a tech SEO in quotes. I mean, I can run Screaming Frog and everything and go through stuff, but like I need Mike's help, and that's what the Skype group is there for. A lot of the times, complex linking diagrams make my head hurt. That's why I love the tactic that he showed tonight. When he showed me that when we were working on the campaign, I was like, holy crap, I can do that. And how many internal links did I drop after you showed me that, Mike? Like a bunch, right?
Oh, I know.
To push all those terms. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And there is a good point. Permission slips are good if you got a wife. Yeah, you're right, Craig.
Yep.
But you also can't surprise that wife with a great vacation.
But the one thing that I've always known is I've known the value of events, networking with like-minded people, and learning from the absolute best. And to be honest, I don't know of any other SEO event that's going on that is going to have better presenters than this, and people that actually get in there day in and day out and actually practice their shit, practice their trade. So if you want to learn from people actually doing it, then I would come. If you want to be pitched, then I would go to someone else's event, to be honest. If you just want to find the next shiny object and not really learn anything, then I probably honestly wouldn't come to this. I'd go somewhere else, but that's just me.
No, it's true. There is a somebody saying that they don't see a price on the sales page. We'll check it, but I believe it's there.
Yeah, it's
at the checkout.
Yeah, it's on the checkout.
It's the checkout. It's on the second step after you fill out your information.
Yeah. So again, the value here, main event 20,996, main event bonuses 8,552, closed door VIP day. We broke that down 101,661, VIP bonuses 39.91 for grand total of 135,200. Yeah.
Of recordings, and there might be some recordings, but there are some things that we can't put on recording to protect people. However, if you are a ticket holder,
I don't know if Dory's recording it this year or not. I haven't heard.
Yeah,
we typically do not record our events. So,
but if you are a ticket if you are a ticket holder and you need information, you are entitled to that information. So you can ask one of us, and we can explain stuff to you.
Yeah.
So
But that's also why we have the Skype group too. I mean, you guys get
exactly.
way beyond support in
Way
our
beyond
groups.
the event. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're going to get. Like I always say, one of the most valuable things about our events is the post-event support. Like Jordan, like how many hours did you spend last year after the event in the Skype group?
I still spend time in there all the time.
That's true.
I'm always
Yeah.
dropping stuff in.
Yeah. So I want to drop another bonus on everyone that signs up. First 50 people, which shit, we might already be at that tonight. Yeah. Have fun buying dinner for everyone, Mike. He didn't say buying dinner.
I did not say buying dinner.
Yeah.
Water?
Water. Yeah, water with lemon. He's just going to come in with a bag of lemons.
Your freaking lemon.
But you're going to get our domain finder training. This is where you can find very cheap, very, very, very effective domains that you can use in your linking and traffic campaigns. We've been using this, like you remember Mike said, how many domains do we have in that one?
On this campaign, we're about 997 right now.
Are we that high?
The last 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, so find them like that in scale. We're putting that at a 997 value. The first 50 people get that. It'll be in the members area. So again, you can attend for just, what's that? You can attend for just $14.97 single pay, or two pay of $7.97. Plus, if you want to join us for that third day, the VIP day is just 4 payments, $249. Head over to nfgrockstars.com and hop on the Skype group. All the private Skype information is in there, both VIP and the first 2 days. Skype rooms are in there, and we're going to add a bunch of unmentioned bonuses and training in there as we get closer to the event as well. So look out for that for anyone that's already hopped on. So
the location is at the Marriott in Anaheim. It's literally like right next door to Disney campus.
Yeah,
so it's a super nice hotel. It's really cool.
Brad, there's a question. How do you pay for the the bonus day on the checkout page? It just gives 2 options. It's after that, right?
Yeah, it's after that. Yep, it's an OTO. So go
it's like a one-time offer type thing.
Yeah, and grab that. It's a second page.
And everybody that is coming, you get to meet Ryan Witten.
Oh, will Witten be walking over from Carlsbad?
Yeah, he will. Rolling himself there.
Yeah.
In his shopping cart.
I was going to say shopping cart. And we do have, Jordan, would you mind from the presentation, would you mind grabbing that? Because I can't get it, and drop it in the chat, that Skype URL there.
Yeah.
So everyone doesn't have to type in TVLTUKDF8HZV. Anyone that has questions, this is not the Skype group for the people that have already hopped on. This is for anyone that might have extra questions. Again, we want to get every single question that you might have answered. So that's, in my opinion, the quickest way is just to have a Skype chat about it. So anyone that has questions about that, go ahead and hop in that Skype room. We'll get those answered throughout the night and stuff like that. If you want to do it more privately, you can email us at gmbmasteracademy@gmail.com. And I don't have access to that, so Jordan will answer every single one of those emails for you happily. Yeah.
Micah. Are you still there, Micah? Micah's on duty this year.
Any other questions? I know
there's been more questions about how to do the linking bonus that we're going to do. And if you have purchased it tonight and you message me tonight, then I can verify that you've purchased it. So that's all you have to do. I don't need a receipt.
If you don't have access to Mike on Skype already, he is in the Skype group for the event. So just find him through there. and hit him up.
I dropped it in, and I also dropped it in the chat, just in case you want to add, and just shoot me an NFG Rockstars message.
Thanks, Holly. Have
Are
a
there
great one.
any questions? Are
Thanks,
there
Holly.
any questions? Yep, take care, Holly. Are there any questions about anything event related or what was going on and when we were talking about tactics tonight? Because it's also important that you're going away with your tactics solid tonight, that if it's new to you. So this is the time to speak. If not, it's time to jump off because we're way over. But
It's all good.
it's a night for answers if you have questions. So shoot them out real quick if you do.
Judy, just jump in the Skype Q&A, and then if you have questions about the event, Mike's information's in there too. You can send him a
Yeah,
message.
Kurt, the hotel is in the members area, so that's all in there. So you can have it, and there's a link to it and everything. I can't remember. I get all
Kirk
the.
asked, did you say Marriott, Kirk?
It's the Marriott, yeah.
Yes, when you're doing the clustering, you take the first link and then you link number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 to that.
Yeah, you link them all to number 1.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think
everyone got all their answers or
their
questions
answers,
answered.
so.
Yeah, their answers questioned.
Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. We really appreciate your
thanks for the time.
We
Yeah,
definitely
appreciate
value
it,
your
everyone.
time. And you guys are busy, and it's cutting into family time at night. And I know some of you guys were staying up to like 4 in the morning. So we definitely appreciate your time coming out tonight.
All right, thanks everyone, and we'll see you in Anaheim. Be there, be square. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a great one.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.